make a soul connection. Soul to soul connection. Heart to heart. Make us start with the soul connection.
Welcome to Sixth Sense and Beyond. I'm your host, Christina Andrianopoulos.
And I'm Katherine Glass, and welcome to our second show.
That is amazing, our second show, and you know what's
That's right.
great? Thank you so much. We have been getting so much attention for Sixth Sense and Beyond. Our mission
amazing.
is to open the spiritual world to the world.
Yep.
And therefore, with doing that, we did a lot of promotion initially through the World Wide Web, which brings the world closer. And our guest today, in fact, the entire show has our guests who came in from Kansas and Oklahoma. Isn't that
Oklahoma
amazing?
and Kansas. First guest, well, second guest on our second show from way across the country already. I mean, this is an indication of what's to come. Watch out.
It's true, it is. And so we'll let Bonnie Robinson, who is a natural born healer, she's going to come on and tell us how she connected with us. But you know, it's not by accident.
No, no.
It's not a coincidence.
Absolutely not.
It was meant to be. Also, part of our guest is Chris Joshua, who is a wrestling coach, but he found his calling at 24, maybe a little bit earlier, and he's a psychic healer as well, and we're going to learn all about what prompted him to be part of this.
Yep, and then we have John and Deb also coming from Kansas, and they are amazing healers, and we're going to learn handwriting analysis and lots of amazing, really cool things.
Right, and we couldn't do it without our sponsors. Thank you so much to Julio's Liquor, Spirit Meets Spirit. We love Julio's, and we're going to be doing some psychic fairs at his beautiful Metro Center that he has in his store.
That's right.
Right,
Cool,
and
yeah.
also Christian Ray, who makes us all look like movie stars and celebrities. Thank you so much, Christian.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I know. And Healing Essence Centers, your
Right.
wonderful husband operates that business.
Yeah.
That's great.
We sponsor too,
Yeah.
Healing Essence Center,
Yeah,
yep, from
great.
Concord, Massachusetts.
And you know what? We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Don't go away.
Let's make a soul connection. Soul to soul connection.
Welcome back, and guess what, Katherine? We're not in Worcester anymore. I think we're in Kansas and Oklahoma.
Okay, I'm game. Let's go.
We had our guests just come in the other day just to be on our show, and we have the greatest pleasure of introducing Bonnie Robinson. How are you?
Just fine. I'm honored to be here today.
Now, you found us. I mean, we said earlier in the opening that we got international attention, and then you connected with us in Kansas, and it's just amazing. The world is a small world. So you're a natural-born healer,
Yes, I am.
and what does that mean?
And, well, I do a lot of past life readings and healings of phobias.
Fabulous. Fabulous work.
And you've worked in crisis centers where you helped individuals who had sexually been molested, and that's
Yes.
just amazing.
I was a counselor for 30 years.
That's amazing.
And worked with all types of people, all ages.
And now you help them through the spiritual world. You help them find their sixth sense and become more in tune to themselves. And
Yes, and the children and adults that never fit in when they were younger and when they were growing up. And today, and now I'm just started into a program with Patty Stice from Oklahoma, and that's how I met Chris. And she has started a new project called the Star Children, and we're working with those children coming in now that's already being born enlightened.
Now we'll talk about that in a minute, because this segment is going to be two parts, because we have so many beautiful, and we're going to be levitating soon, so just stay there.
So exciting.
So
and
our-
Bonnie, you're also a medium, are you not?
Yes, I'm also a natural-born psychic medium.
Wonderful.
That's
and you do
great.
some work in the Spiritualist Church there, yes?
Yes, in the Sunset Spiritualist Church and Camp in Wells, Kansas.
That's amazing.
great.
You know, because in New England we have several Spiritualist churches here,
Yes.
so people here have heard of it and know what that's about. So that's amazing. I didn't even know there was one in Kansas.
Wonderful place.
Nobody even knew about our show until we premiered it. Isn't that great? Sixth Sense and Beyond, opening the spiritual world to the world. And one of the greatest pleasures I've had is meeting you, Chris. First of all, you're a crystal. And we're going to talk about crystal, because I had no idea what it was. But what I call your day job is coaching wrestling at a university, correct?
Correct,
Which
yes.
university is it?
The University of Central Oklahoma.
That is amazing. And you are an athlete.
Yes.
Yes, and so that was your calling, but suddenly, recently, you became enlightened, or you were enlightened, but you decided that you realized your mission is something different.
Right. I'm very into helping children. I like to see them grow on their paths, and I am very blessed to have the gifts that I do.
We're very blessed to have you. Your energy is beautiful.
And when
All
you
of
talk
us-
about, sorry, Christina, when you talk
That's
about
okay.
helping the children, are you talking about helping the children that come in extremely sensitive? And some of these kids, crystal children, indigo children, rainbow children, sometimes are mistakenly diagnosed as autistic or ADD, ADHD, but they're highly attuned to a different vibrational frequency. And so you, as an adult crystal, are drawn and able to help them, and maybe even their parents and teachers understand there's something else going on with these kids.
Yes, I'm
It's
very
fabulous.
I'm very
Thank God.
attracted to helping these children, and I think that one of the most important things is to help raise the awareness of their parents, to
Yes.
allow them to know that a lot of children are being misdiagnosed with ADHD, ADD, and autism, and a lot of children are being treated a lot differently throughout their lives because of this diagnosis.
That's right.
By their parents and teachers and their peers. It is my mission to come here to help these children and their parents and allow them to be able to live a full, happy life to the best of their ability, and to allow them to grow and make this world a better place.
You know, it's
Absolutely.
amazing. 1 out of 50 children are diagnosed with some kind of autism or disability, and for you to come in to, and you will, the second segment will be a lot about this, and Chris was saying it's either medication or meditation. And I have a lot of parents who have had children who are diagnosed with autism, so this is a wonderful segment.
It's
that
a
we're gonna
whole
talk
nother
about.
perspective to see it from in the full facetedness of the topic. It's not
Absolutely.
to put down, you know, the doctors and the medicine
No.
aspect of it, but to also look at it through another lens, like a kaleidoscope. There is another aspect that needs to be acknowledged, and thank goodness we have this platform to start educating the world about
I agree.
it.
I
Yeah.
do. And so right here on our left, and
We have Deb and John from Kansas also. They are Quantum Touch Healers.
they're the dynamic duo.
The dynamic duo. They work together. They're a couple, and John does handwriting analysis, which, how cool is that? I'm so excited to hear more about that. And quantum touch is a form of energy healing and energy work. They're both
Well,
intuitives.
John, why don't you tell us like what got you into this and how you got into it, and really what?
Well, we've been certified quantum touch practitioners since December of 2011, so we're into our second year doing that, and both of us are spiritualist healers. I also add the handwriting aspect as a psychic handwriting analyst, and I've been doing that for 15 years, not really aware of my psychic abilities until about 3 years ago, which opened up actually 3 years ago, Memorial Weekend.
Wow, that's
Remembers the
amazing.
day.
And you know what's great
Yes,
about it? I got to know
it was an
them
awakening.
a little bit, bringing him home from Boston. Is you're like a Kojak. You worked with law enforcement in reference to handwriting, and decided that you wanted to add a little bit of your intuition into your gift.
Actually, the attorneys hired me because they were having difficulty with clients being charged with crimes that were not guilty, but they couldn't defend the issue when it came to a question document. So they would call me in to compare the writing of the person charged with the crime, and I was able to compare their writing with the questioned writing of the writing that was suspect, and give a report that very often caused the charges to be reduced or dismissed.
Wow.
Also, there's a significant issue with end-of-life issues and people passing on their inheritance to their heirs, and people are taking those without proper authority, and so I help seniors with their end-of-life issues as it relates to protecting their handwriting.
That's great. And Deb,
fascinating.
I mean, the two of you, you're a pair.
We
So
are. We met at the Sunset Spiritualist Church in Camp 4 years ago, I believe it was, and he analyzed my handwriting. And
"Hey,
what a
my
way to get a
soulmate."
date.
so
Can I see your handwriting?
I've been
please?
going up to that church for 30 years now, and we're a teaching church. We teach people. We want to. So we've been taking psychic development classes, and so it's something we get to practice all the time, and we incorporate the psychic messages or the messages from spirit into our quantum touch healing as we do it, and into his handwriting readings as we do it. So as you get into that meditative state, then those messages come through from spirit. So it all works together.
So, Katherine, for those who may have just tuned in and weren't riveted from the TV at the beginning, it's okay. We don't judge. Right here we have guests from Kansas and Oklahoma.
We have Bonnie and Chris and Deb and John.
Who found us, found our TV show, and yes.
We didn't even go looking for them. This is how it's going to roll. We're
is.
going to get Spirit is going to direct us, and we're going to get the most wonderful, gifted people on this show. I'm so excited.
And what I'd like to do is maybe go back to Bonnie. And Bonnie, could you just share how, just open up how we have a minute before we come back, but Bonnie, how did you find us?
Well, Spirit, my spiritual guide, sent me to the computer, which is the wonderful technology today, and I just started looking. I didn't even know what I was looking for, and I come across your show, and I knew it.
I got chills.
And so I
over here.
got a hold of you and told you that I'd like to find out more about it. And then before the conversation was done, I told you I would like to help sponsor your show because I believe this is a subject that the whole world needs to hear more about, the healing part of the spiritual world.
That is so great. That's a good way for us to segue into a break and come back. Do not go away because you're going to see some handwriting analysis, and we're going to talk about crystal and rainbow children, which I had no idea what it was. So
Parents,
I'm
listen
learning,
up.
and we're learning.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back.
Let's make a soul connection. Soul to soul connection.
So welcome back to Sixth Sense and Beyond, and we're going to pick up where we left off with John and Deb, and we're going to ask Deb a little bit about what she does.
Well, one of the things I do at our church camp in June, I have a class on sharing and surviving grief. Because I have a daughter in spirit that she's been gone now 10 years, but what I like to do is make people aware that they're not gone. They're right here, and they do talk to you. They send you clues, messages, signs, and the more we can just sit around in a circle and talk about that, people become aware that it's a tragedy, yes, and it's the worst thing to me that could happen. However, you can continue on, and you can communicate with your loved ones, and that's what I do, and I'd like to share that with others so that they can deal with it
Absolutely.
easier.
So when you're helping others with that, Deb, do you give them ways to look out for those signs? Like, I know I'm a medium and I always educate my clients, stay aware, stay alert, look for things in nature. How do you speak to them?
Well, things in nature, animals, and look it up. You can look up in books and online what those things mean. Be aware of your surroundings. My daughter leaves me pennies on the ground. That's one
really
thing
common
for me, and other people have talked about the pennies they find as well.
Pennies
But
from heaven.
be aware that it might just be a hello from your loved one, not just an accidental penny on the ground. But
Well, there was a penny on the plane.
there was a penny right in front of me on the plane and on the floor, and I picked it up because I think my daughter's with me on
She's
this trip.
totally with you. In fact, a minute ago when you said I have my daughter in spirit, I said, well, she's right here. She's going, hey, Mom, I'm right here.
Yes, I believe she is. I can feel her. I know. And
You know what's wonderful about this, talking from you all, these gifted, and I'm just opening myself up to the spiritual world, is to know that when someone passes on, it's not gone. There might be a void, a physical void, but that you can still communicate. And just knowing that gives me peace.
It
Instead of
does.
thinking like, that's it, you're gone, no more. So
right.
that's wonderful
it is
that you
very
do
peaceful.
There's also the aspect that they may have gone before their time according to
Our plan.
Our plan. And it may have been under less than pleasant circumstances, and so rather than casting blame and feeling bad and creating a lot of discord, you just understand that they were here for that length of time, and however they left was part of their path.
Wow.
And you have to let that be and accept that and allow that to be, and it creates a tremendous amount of peace.
Really
It does,
try to, I want to talk to the audience, really try to take that in for a minute, what John just shared. It's a really important piece of understanding the whole world of spirit and what this is all about. Beautifully said. Deb.
That's wonderful. And you know, it's so peaceful here. I love it.
We have our
You know,
baby,
the-
our crystal baby.
Well, I'm bringing this out because according to Bonnie, this is what children are looking like now that they're born. And I believe that Chris looked like this. So let's, you know about this subject, so
Oh,
talk
yeah.
to Chris about Crystal.
So, Chris, you have been aware or told that you're a crystal child. You know, I know there's indigo and there's crystal and there's rainbow children. Can you talk a little bit about that as you segue into what you do?
Well, you know, there's always books that you can pick up at the bookstore. Any New Age book on indigos or crystals really gives you a lot of information. Some books are different on their details, but the main focus on it is that there are new types of children being born today, and it's so evident if you just look around how technology is advancing and how this it's just a new age.
Did you discover this on your own? Because you're wrestling. You're like this hunk.
Grounded in the
So
body.
I mean, I'm saying that complimentary. And there's a lot of young people. You have young children. I have young children. I love that you're so enlightened because that's really what I would like as a parent. So how did you figure this out?
Well, something that I think that is very important to the aware is to help spread the awareness. I was in college at the University of Nebraska, and I had a Native American history teacher who I became very fond of, and she really led me on this path. She asked me to pick up a book about indigo children, and so I did.
So
And
she recognized it in you
she
as
saw
her student.
it in me,
Yeah.
yes.
Cool.
And that's one thing that I wanted to share with all the parents and the peers and of these new children is you're going to be able to look in their eyes and see that there is something special about them. These children often are called old souls. They often, like we talked about, are diagnosed with ADD and ADHD because they have a lot of energy. It's just remarkable that we are bringing in new children into this world, and now we're going to be able to spread the awareness and be able to properly educate them and their parents and allow this to take over our world. And I really look for this world to be a more peaceful, happy place.
Absolutely. They're going to be changing
Amazing.
government structures, educational systems. It's already happening. There are charter schools and new schools being created that are more adaptable to the differently styled learning of these children.
You know, I'd like to relate from the layperson. My son had this energy that you're talking about, and so his father and I, it was suggested by his classroom teacher to take him to a psychologist, and they diagnosed him as borderline. Well, fortunately for us, for his dad and I, we just said no drugs, no way, we'll deal with it. You know, okay, maybe he shouldn't sit next to a window when he's trying to learn a tough subject. My son is now 22, and I am so grateful that we never put him on any kind of drugs. He's so spirited and talented and extremely smart.
Good for
and
you. You weren't
no,
bullied
and
into
so
it.
we have alternatives, and I love you when you say meditation versus medication. There are alternatives. That's what I like about this, too.
And are you going to be teaching children about meditation?
Yes, I think this is something that is very important to these children. It's raising their awareness by themselves, within themselves, and I think that this is a very important aspect of it. At some point, we're going to have an app that.
Breaking news, I
An
love
app
breaking
that
news.
what?
Okay, the breaking news is that Sixth Sense and Beyond will have a psychic mall eventually on our website, and
right,
so
right.
lots of the products that many of the gifted have already utilized and have testimonials, we will offer that to the viewers and to the world. And you're going to develop an app for a mobile smartphone, and it will be a spiritual app, right?
Right.
Oh my gosh, and you have to put some of your paintings on there, Chris. He's an amazing artist. I wish you could show, oh yeah.
We do. We have
That's a
painting.
small version. He showed me his other stuff. And the crystal children often are unbelievable with creativity. Singing, dancing, painting, drawing, all of that. They have an eye.
They really
and
use
ear.
their energy for the right way, and this is what we really want to focus on to get the word out to these parents. Is that it's so important to understand that doctors are trying to diagnose this as they have too much energy and it needs to be suppressed.
Right.
But the reality of it is they have a lot of energy and it needs to be used for the betterment
Express.
of,
Channel.
Yeah.
Of the planet.
expressed.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Not suppressed.
Yes, all of us. And thank you for teaching me. You already knew Crystal, but you know a lot. But we're all trying to now impart this information
To the world.
To the world.
That's
And
what opening the spiritual world to the world.
Wouldn't
That's
you
why we're
prefer
here.
to look at your child who has been diagnosed by traditional medicines as autistic, 1 out of 50, and say there might be an alternative? That child may be a new leader.
An alternative truth.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I
And we
feel
have a
better
new
that way.
program.
Talk
We have a
about it.
new program starting in Oklahoma. Patty Stice, the woman that I've met in Oklahoma, she's a teacher and a counselor, and she is have a program that's starting July 13th of this year, and we're going to be working. She has a whole all these teachers that are lined up to teach certain things to these groups of children, and she has a large amount of children already coming.
Let's teach adults and teachers. Give
Right,
them
and their
an
parents.
extension.
What if
And their
people-
parents too.
What
are
if
coming
people
to
wanted
this.
to actually like find out more about this, like from Chris or from Bonnie? Is there a website or an email we can?
Well,
You can
as
use
we're
my
speaking,
email.
your email, Bonnie's email is bonlee, B-O-N-L-E-E, at twinvalley.net.
Net.
Okay.
And also through your fire sign,
Yeah, firesignqt.com.
right?
It's easier to say QT than Quantum Touch in the website, so we
And
shortened
then, and you
it.
know what? 6 Cents and Beyond, we're putting a page up there about this.
Right.
Yes,
so you can always
absolutely.
get
Right.
any of our previous guests
Right.
through our website, 6 Cents and
Listen,
Beyond.
they found us from Kansas and Oklahoma. You don't think you can find this information through us? So yeah, that's great, and we love the artwork. So let's take so breaking news, an app. Okay, so we're going to do a little fun thing here. Okay. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to have John do a little handwriting analysis. Okay. So just listen to this, and he can do this for you too, right? If people write into you,
Certainly.
and you offer this as a service.
And it's not distance dependent either, so they can email, fax,
Scan.
scan it. They could
Email.
mail it to me if they want to.
It makes me think of
And-
palmistry, only not.
Well-
Okay, I had done mine beforehand because we didn't have time to write. So,
Right.
Here we're going to talk about. Ooh, we're going to reveal. Better
Yes.
be good, John, or you're not
Well-
going on this show again. No, I'm kidding.
That's actually in your handwriting.
Tyrant?
No, showmanship. You want to be the center of attention.
That's why I'm already
Break. She's a Leo.
help. I
Well-
was born that way.
It's a very demonstrative signature, but it's very clear, so you like to communicate, and you don't like to be around people that muddle their communication. You like people to speak clearly, and you like to be able to understand what they're saying.
What did you say?
No, let him go.
Oh, sense of humor. See, that's tete-a-tete back
You
there.
didn't see the sense of humor yet. Kathy.
You have initiative, you're a self-starter, you're always busy. In fact, you have to be busy doing many things. You're intolerant of people that are closed-minded or have low integrity, and you're a very generous person unless or until someone breaks integrity with you. And then that's it, they're cut off. And it takes a lot, if ever, to get back in your good graces.
Oh, I'm glad I got the 411.
Very strong cultural interests, both as a participant, a spectator, and a patron. So you're fitting all of that in
thank you.
to the show and all the other creative activities that you participate
You're
in.
making me blush.
Well,
Let's
you're
start
right where
with
you
Katherine.
belong,
Let's do
clearly.
Katherine now because
You do
it's-
like to have people help you with details.
Oh, thank you. I like that. I love
Yeah.
delegating and letting other people do
And
something.
people who are on the leading edge are about 2 to 3 years behind you.
Whoa. Well, that's why you're doing this show, sister.
Yeah.
So check the energy in your legs. There's something going on there.
I'm a
Either
runner.
energetically or physically. You may have pain, stress, or discomfort from an accident, illness, or injury. And so watch out. That also affects your lower chakra.
Okay, thank you. So
Well,
this
do
is
mine, do
amazing. This,
mine.
okay, do Catherine's. We've got a minute and go ahead, Katherine.
I'm gonna levitate.
You know what? We're not going to be able to do the psychic tip, so let's just have them read. Okay?
Okay.
We'll all close together.
Catherine, you're a hugger.
I'm a hugger.
Very kinesthetic, hands-on learner. Don't waste a lot of time talking because you want to see what's going on. You want to get your hands on it. You want to get busy doing it.
Interesting. Yes, action.
Also initiative, a self-starter. You don't like to be, you like to be given things to do and be left alone to do them. You're open-minded and willing to listen, so people tend to confide in you, and they'll do it in ways and on subjects that they just don't share with just anyone.
That's absolutely true.
Because you're empathetic, you have to watch out that you keep your energy separate from theirs.
Yes. Spent lifetime learning that.
Yeah.
Still learning.
You may be feeling anxious about discord in the life of someone close to you. But you're not in a position to help them, but if you didn't care, it wouldn't matter. So the idea is to maybe allow that to be for them.
And you mean that's presently happening or all the time? Okay.
Yeah, right now. And so
We're going to have to bring you back. Otherwise, we're going to get shut down
Okay,
to
okay,
the next
okay,
one. So, but you know what? Thank you so
On the
much.
edge of my
Thank you.
seat.
We're going to have you back again. We're going to have you back again. And so,
Yeah.
thank you
I'm
so
calling
much
him for the rest.
for watching Sixth Sense and Beyond. And on June 9th, we have our first psychic gallery introducing Katherine Glass, award-winning psychic medium, who will be reading the audience a la Crossing Over. So dinner and all,
Yes,
right?
Psychic Gallery.
Great.
Please come.
Thanks for our sponsors. Thanks, Julios. And thank you, Kristen, for making us all look beautiful.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you next week.
Let's make a sound.